I just watched Beagle's interview on the 9 Club, so now I'm all wanting to rep Shake Junt. What's up, guys? Justin Phillip here. Welcome back to another episode of Dog Times Productions. Now, this is a little channel where I just share my tips and advice and just my little go-throughs that I go through on my journey as a one-man band. Kind of growing out of the one-man band era now, which is cool. But, you know, just my journey as a filmmaker, low budge, kind of like a Robert Rodriguez. So this is for all my other fellow Rodriguez fans out there, you know, just sharing my tips and discoveries as I go along. So without further ado, let's get into it. So today we're going to be talking about Atomos recorders and picking out the right HDMI cords and the right brand of SSDs to use with your Atomos recorder. Now, I own the Ninja Inferno, but you know, this applies to all the recorders, even the brand new Ninja V. It even takes the old SSD caddies. So, you know, think about that. And also, I read online that people with the Ninja V actually prefer the old caddies because it hangs out a little bit and it's easier to pull it out. And that is true. When I first got the Ninja Inferno, I was like, you know, when you get a new piece of equipment, especially technology, you don't want to, like, you know, you're afraid to like break it, especially me. Like, I feel like I break everything I touch. So I'm like, oh snap, how do I get this caddy out of there? And it was like stuck, it's flush. It goes in flush, and then you're like, and then there's these little tiny tabs and you're like, oh, okay. You know, it doesn't take long to figure it out. But people have been saying that the old caddies are nice on the V because it just hangs out a little bit and they can just swap it out easier. But before we get into this whole issue with the HDMI cables, I gotta share a little backstory with you guys, okay? I'm currently in the process of developing my own web series. You can actually see it on my IMDb page. If you look up Justin Phillip on IMDb, you'll see in the, what's it called? In development, I do have a little web series in there, and it's called On a Veil. And the third episode, we've been in the process of shooting it. It's a little bit of a more production value. We got some cool locations that we stole. I had some drone shots in there, some kind of music videos, super buttery slow-mo shots, some steady rig shots. So I had the GH4 on the steady rig shot and the GH5 on the shoulder rig, you know, so I could keep them separated, don't have to like swap in between. GH4 is doing 96 frames per second like it does. And then when I swapped to the GH5, I was getting 120 frames per second like it does. This is what they say you need to get the 10-bit 4K 60p out of the GH5 and out to your Ninja Inferno, okay? Now, we're on set. I got this $100 cable plugged in, right? Just so you guys know, you know, that I'm not like pulling your legs or anything, okay? There's the Atomos logo, right? There it is right there, 4K 60p, HDMI 2.0A, HDR ready, okay? I will say one thing about this cable. It is nice and sturdy. I like the coil aspect of it, but that's a good thing and it's a bad thing. Because it's so sturdy and because it's got this coil, it also sometimes is a pain in my ass with certain rigs. Okay, that being aside, that's not my main issue. Back to the nature at hand, okay? I'm trying to send the 10-bit 4K 60p out of the Ninja Inferno. I go to do it, Ninja Inferno is saying no signal. No signal. And I'm going, what? Now, luckily, this was my own set. Like I said, I'm the producer, the director, the shooter. I said, everybody take 10. I sat down, and I'm whipping out my iPhone. I'm getting on the YouTube, getting on the Google. I'm doing everything it says, right? I'm changing all the menu stuff. I'm doing everything it says to do on the GH5, and it's still saying no signal. I thought, damn, what's up with that? So, luckily, it's my own shoot. I said, screw it. I'll just... You know, sadly, it was the only HDMI cable I brought with me, you know, because this is a very run and gun style shoot. So I said, okay, screw it. We'll just do the 4K 60p at 8-bit internally, and we'll just roll with it. When I got home, I started looking online. Guess what? There were a few more people I found through, you know, trolling a bunch of stuff. A few people on Reddit had said they ran into the same issue with this $100 Atomos cable. Then they said, hey, I found a newer option, a better option. Get this gold-plated $13.99 cable off Amazon, and it worked with the 10-bit 4K 60p. I said, what? $14? So I said, well, I gotta try it for $14. Sure enough, it worked. And I'll show this guy. If you guys don't believe me, we'll test it right now. Okay, now we're in a different setup here, right? So now you see my $100 HDMI Atomos cable is going from the GH5 to the Ninja Inferno, right? I have quick menu set up. I just tap up here and I'm gonna go find it, 4K, 8-bit, 60p, 150, right? I just switched it in there. Okay, hold on. Okay, it's sending it now, right? But I think it's because the record output, oh weird, it's on 10-bit. What the fuck? It's working now. What? Weird, now it's working. It wasn't working before. It wasn't working before. Now it is working. Damn, that's fucking weird. Last time we did this shoot with the same setup, same stuff, it said right here, no input. And I couldn't get it to work. And now today it worked. So that kills my whole video, but not the whole video, but it does that does prove that this cable is faulty. That's the first time. I mean, I did this over and over. That's the first time. 4K, Ultra HD, 59.94. 4K long GOP 4208 with the 10-bit out. Damn, it's working now. Damn, it's working now. Well, I stand corrected. So bizarre, man. That shit was not working on set. I don't know. I don't get it. I cannot explain that one. But now I feel like an idiot. But regardless, it is finicky. That was weird. Up to the point of making this video, it has not worked. Maybe the Atomos gods knew I was going to make this video and talk trash about their $100 cable. But granted, let's put in the Amazon gold-plated one, just so I can show that you can do it with the Amazon $14 one, and it works every single time. Whereas that Atomos, it screwed me over on set. There you go. There it is, the sending the 4K 8-bit out to the there you can see it's 4K Ultra HD 59.94. You see I have the little crappy, actually it's not crappy. Look how nice and skinny this cable is. It's nice, it's got a good length to it, and it's gold plated, so that's cool. And it's only $14, guys. It's only 14 bucks, and it works every time. I'm telling you, that Atomos cable did not work on set. I did all the exact same settings I currently have programmed in here. It wasn't not, and I am 95%, actually I'm 98.90% sure, so I'm only like 1 and a little bit percent off that I'm almost 100% sure it was not user error. Something is up with that Atomos cable. And here's the thing, guys. People always tell me this. They said it to me when I did the Viltrox review as well. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. I compare a Kaipon Bav Eyes to a Viltrox EFM2 and prove that the Viltrox EFM2 does not have infinity focus for wide-angle lenses. I prove it. You can watch it in the video, okay? But same thing happened when I put that video out. They say, oh, Justin, you just got a faulty product. Guys, faulty product? Dude, that is, we are not paying all this money to have a faulty product. That would be like, do you think you would go to Tesla and they say, oh, here's this car. It doesn't need gasoline. It can go 300 miles on a single charge, right? So, oh, great, I'm buying this car. And guess what? What if it only went 150 miles? And they go, what the hell, dude? You guys told me to go 300 miles on one charge. I broke down on the way to Vegas. It only went 150 miles. Do you think they'd be able to reel out cars if they had people like that happening to them? They said, Tesla's just like, oh, sorry, it's a faulty product. Guess you got a bad one. No, dude, that's not how the world goes. That's not how commerce works. You just can't say, oh, I just got a bad one. Not when it costs over $100. That's not how it goes, man. If you're paying over $100 for a product, it should work like a $100 product should work. Now, if it was a $14 product, I would say, oh yeah, I guess it doesn't work every time. I guess that's why I got the $14 one, you know? But when you're paying over $100 and it's faulty, I'm not just gonna pass that off. But now we're gonna do something really weird. I just pulled this random ass, long ass HDMI cable that I probably used to connect my TV to my Blu-ray at some point. I dug this out of my grip bag, okay? We're gonna try this and see if this one sends a 4K 60p signal. And I probably bought this one at Big Lots, who knows? All right, so let's do it up. And the beautiful thing about the GH5 is also because it's a full-size HDMI. I mean, you cannot beat that. All right, this cable is so ridiculously long. Look at this. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can send the 4K 60p on a Big Lots cable. Boom! Look at that. We got signal, folks. We got signal. Sending the 10-bit 4K 60p out to the motherfrickin' with a Big Lots cable. Now you guys are saying, well, just because it's sending the signal doesn't mean it's going to work. You know, it might not be able to record. It might drop frames. And I understand that. And that's why I tied this little review into another one, which is what brand SSDs should you be buying and putting inside your Atomos caddies. Now, a lot of you guys with the new Ninja V, you're going to be like, bro, you got to get the Angel Birds. But I don't know. I don't know if I buy that. I've been having excellent results with Sandisk Extreme Pros. Picked up a 5-pack of Atomos caddies. You can buy these on Amazon. You can buy a 5-pack. It's like 30 bucks and they'll send you 5 of them. These are cool to have, you know, if you wanna up your game. And since then, I bought a Sanibel 240 gigabyte SSD, and I just recently picked up a Western Digital 1 terabyte SSD. Okay, so let's get into it. Now that I have, let me get this crazy Big Lots cable out of here. This thing, because I have recorded a 10-bit 4K 60p through the $14 cord. We're gonna do it with this one now when we test the SSDs. Now, my whole reason for doing an SSD test is because I never ran into problems until that the Sanibel SSD, and I have yet to test the new Western Digital 1 terabyte I just picked up. Now, there's a thing on these Atomos recorders where sometimes you might see it. Right up here in the corner, there'll be a little like yellow caution or yield sign, and there's a kangaroo inside of it. I never knew what that meant. And then one time I was recording something and I went back to review it, and it was all broken up into little tiny pieces, like the GH4 used to do. You know, when you record long segments, the GH4 just automatically splits it up. And I was like, what the heck is that? I've never seen the Ninja Inferno do that. And then so I said, okay, and I started recording again and just doing it again. I saw that little kangaroo in the caution sign. I was like, what is that? And there was words in there. I couldn't read it though. It was so tiny. I couldn't read what it said up there in the corner. And I went online and checked it out. And what it says in there is skippy. So anytime you see that signal, it's skipping frames, right? I was like, damn, that Sanibel's skipping frames. Now, I don't know, I can't remember what codec I was sending out to the Inferno, but we're gonna go through them and we're gonna test them all out now. Now, the first one we're gonna do is the trusty Sandisk Extreme Pro 2. I think these ones are probably the best bet. This one is a 512 gigabyte SSD Extreme Pro Sandisk. Sequential read speed 545 megabytes per second, and a sequential write speed of 525 megabytes per second. Now, this is megabytes. This is the big B, not the little b. But let's try it out. We got it in there. Let's change up some stuff. So let's start off with the C4K. The C4K will go with all live, right? Shoot it across the $14 Amazon cable. And, okay, so it's doing good. It's doing good. It's getting it all out there. Nice, nice. We'll let it roll for just, I don't know, a little bit. Okay, so no skippy. There's no skippy popping up here. We're good. Now let's try this Sanibel 240 gigabyte SSD. Okay, now the Sanibel isn't quite as good as the Extreme Pro according to the specs on Amazon. It says on here that it reads at 550 megabytes per second, but its write speed, its write is only 450 megabytes per second. So it's about 100 megabytes less than the Sandisk Extreme Pro when it comes to writing it. And that is more important. You want better write speeds than you do read speed. Read speeds are still important, but writing is most important when, you know, recording this stuff. Okay, so since we're already on the 4K 60p 10-bit, let's try it. So here we go. We're recording the 4K 60p 10-bit. We're looking up here for Skippy. It's doing good, doing good. It's rolling good. Okay. So the Sanibel can handle the 4K 60p 10-bit, no problem, right? We see that. It's doing good. Now, let's switch this up. Let's jump all the way up. Let's go with the Cinema 4K All-I 400 megabyte. Let's say you want the best out of your sensor, right? So obviously you crank it all the way up, All-I 400 megabits, and let's send it out to the Ninja Inferno with the Sanibel recorder. Now, this is the one where I was running into troubles with. It's going good. It's going good. And this is with the Amazon $14 HDMI cable. No skippies yet. Wow, interesting. Interesting. Now, before, I believe I was using, you're going to hate me when I say this, but when Skippy was showing up with this Sanibel SSD on the All-I signal, I'm pretty sure I was using the $100 Atomos cable. But it's still rolling. It's still rolling, and there's still no Skippy popping up here. This is good. This is good for the Sanibel. Huh. So now the Sanibel is performing well. There's no Skippy up here in the corner. It's rolling fine. It's accepting the All-I 400 megabit with the ProRes HQ. Man, before I was doing this, I was just shooting something right here in the office too. And I was getting the Skippy logo. That was a thing that was happening. And right now it's all good. Nothing. Okay, so I stand corrected on that. However, because of that issue, I don't trust the Sanibel anymore on a paid shoot. Ever since that happened, I don't take it with me. So that's a knock against Sanibel. I will attest to that. I wasn't able to prove that to you today, but looks like that wasn't the only thing I wasn't able to prove to you. Now we're going to try this new one I just got. I've only been using this as an external hard drive, to be honest, and just thought, well, not only will I have an extra 1 terabyte hard drive, but I'll also have an extra SSD for my Atomos as well. So I have not, other than just putting it in my Atomos to format it, I have yet to really test the speeds of what this is Western Digital. I've yet to test the speed of what this bad boy can handle. Now the Western Digital says it has sequential read speeds up to 560 megabytes per second and sequential write speeds up to 530 megabytes per second. So according to the specs on Amazon, the Western Digital is faster both in reading and writing speeds than the Sandisk Extreme Pros. So right there's a good one up. 4K, 400 megabits, All-I 42210, and let's roll it. Let's see how it handles it. No Skippy, no Skippies. So that's good. Damn, I was really hoping to show you guys that little Skippy logo. Let's see. Bummer. Really wanted to show you guys that. But just so you know, I have had problems with the Sanibel SSDs, so just a heads up on that, you know. Still good. It proved good here today, but I have seen that little Skippy logo before when I was using that Sanibel SSD. So let that be mindful to you too. If you ever see that little kangaroo right up here in the corner, if you ever see that little kangaroo, that's a no-no. You're dropping frames right there. So this video wasn't that cool, it turned out, but all in all, here's the thing. Save yourself some money. I just proved to you that this $14 Amazon cable, HDMI cable, works with all forms of whatever you're trying to send out of GH5. So don't buy into the hype. You don't have to get the $100 Atomos cable. You know, this is all you really need. I'll put a link to this in the video. It's not an affiliated link. I don't get money off of it. I don't care. I'm not trying to get money off of it. I'm just trying to help other low budget guys like myself. You know, because we're out here. I'm from the trenches for the trenches, fool. All right, with that being said, Today was kind of a bust, but that's what happens. Not every day is going to be a Christmas day, right, Joaquin? Peace.